So finally, we are upon Stranger Things season 2. Got to binge watch it, and I gotta say, Stranger Things, when it first hit, I really, really liked it. I didn't absolutely love it because it played with a lot of the nostalgia factor, and there was a lot of things taken from a lot of other films and TV used for Stranger Things. But I love the characters, love the Goonies type scenario, and I just loved overall what they were executing in season 1 of Stranger Things. So Stranger Things 2, where were all these characters at? What is there else to tell about the upside down world, about what new kind of creatures are we going to experience? Where's 11? How does 11 get out of the upside down world and all that stuff? I mean, there's no spoiler there. We all know that she's going to be reunited with the crew, or she's going to be in the season because of the trailer and the actress promoting it. So going into season 2 and watching season 2, I'm here to tell you I like it better than season 1. I will not lie to you. I think this is a season and this is a show that's so entertaining, brings a smile to my face. Honestly, if I had to give it a scale, I would give it a 9 out of 10 for Stranger Things season 2. Now, once again, I think it's the kids that really hold this thing together. But this time around, Mike is not the lead kid. Richie, beep Richie from it. He's not the lead guy. He's not the lead kid. He's kind of there. He's there. He gets some scenery. He gets some scenes to him to really kind of showcase, of course, his relationship with him and 11. But he's not necessarily the main player this time. What I really liked is they really used Will. Now, Will is the main focus of this whole season. Something happens to him where where they have to figure out what's going on with of course, the town, but what's going on with this. There's a certain portal. There's the creatures, the monsters. I can't remember how you say their names, but the monsters and different incarnations of the monsters. So from the upside down world. So how everything is, we're still in that kind of realm because that's what Stranger Things is all about. It's all about the upside down world. It's all about these monsters. It's all about these kids fighting off these monsters, so to speak. But what I really did like was the use of Will. I like the use of Winona Ryder once again in this season. I think Winona Ryder puts a great performance. I think she brings it down a little bit compared to season 1 where she was kind of really overacting, but here she's more subtle, and I got to give it to Winona Ryder. She really delivered this time around. What I really loved, though, too, is they focused on some of the other players. They focused on Lucas. I thought Lucas was one of my favorite characters this time around. He really was a smile to my face. He really had that charm. He really had, especially with the Ghostbusters whole bit with him and his friends, with Will, Mike, and Dustin. So I thought that was pretty fun. And Dustin, man, Dustin's so likable. He's such a dick. Everybody needs an asshole in a group, but this asshole is so funny, charismatic, that he really just brings, once again, a smile to your face, and he's such a likable kid. All these kids are likable. All these kids have a band of friendship that you really enjoy, and you really want them to succeed whatever obstacles come their way. I will say, though, that they're not fully together like in season 1. A lot of the times they're kind of separated or they're doing their own thing, and this time around usually is the case when it comes to another season for a popular show. It didn't really hurt the season, but I kind of missed the camaraderie of all the kids together, which we do get in the season. It's just I kind of wanted a little bit more. The pairings in this time around, there is one point where we have Dustin and we have Steve. We have Steve. Dustin and Steve, their pairing together is absolutely, the chemistry is unbelievable. I love this kid paired up with Steve. And Steve, this time around, is so likable. In the first season, I knew he wasn't that bad of a guy. He was a dick, but not that bad of a guy. But this time around, this guy's a hero, man. This guy you root for. And when you see it in a trailer, when Dustin asks him, "You still got that bat with nails?" Freaking Steve's still got that bat with nails. Loved it. Loved Steve in this season. Loved how he kind of played like a babysitter kind of role, and I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of it. And I absolutely enjoyed the interaction he had with the kids. I thought that alone could have been the whole season, with him just being, weekend babysitter, make sure these kids don't get killed. And it was absolutely fun, and it was so entertaining. Another thing too, that if we're going to go from Steve, we're going to go from Steve's relationship with Nancy, and then even Jonathan being in the mix. Of course, there was a love triangle in the first season. Of course, there's Barb, which a lot of people absolutely they really cared for Barb's death. I thought it was Barb. I was like, Barb died, but a lot of people really hung on to that. There was a death in this season that I really felt I hung on to. There was a death in this season that was kind of my Barb from the first season. But going on to Steve, Jonathan, and Nancy, I really liked how they took the love triangle. I really like how they played with Steve and his relationship with Nancy, and of course with Nancy's relationship with Jonathan. Jonathan's not really used in this season. He's used when he has to be used. He is a secondary character. He's not the main focus, which I really like. I really like how they bring him in, and he doesn't need to be the vocal point, or even Nancy. What the vocal point is I think the kids, the monster, and then just bringing some enjoyment and some laughs along the way. So but I did really like how they used Jonathan. I really did like how they used Nancy was a hit and miss in the season. I think in the beginning she was kind of becoming unlikable. Then towards the end she started becoming really likable, and then especially towards the end she became really, really likable. So Nancy is starting to win me over, while Jonathan's always won me over, and Steve just absolutely became a true hero this time around. So we have new faces coming into Stranger Things 2. We have Mad Max. We have this little girl who comes in with her stepbrother, Billy. Let's get to Billy real quick. Billy is such an asshole. Like, this guy's such an asshole, and throughout the whole season I'm just questioning, like, why is this guy such a douchebag? Why there is maniac tendencies towards this guy. He doesn't fully go overboard, but he's almost there. So Billy is a character that, yes, you do find out a little bit of why he's like the way he is, but it's still no excuse. So I was a little disappointed with this bully Billy and how much of just cartoonish and over mustache twirling he is. It was just really, it's something you see all the freaking time in so many movies and so many TV shows, especially back in the day. So I wasn't really a big fan of Billy. I'm a big fan of the actor. I give it to the actor who did a really fantastic job, had the look of a bully, acted like the bully, but he just, the writing and the character that they gave him, he was just way too cartoonish to me, or he was just the same kind of bully you see all the time, like in Back to the Future, and not much of Biff, but over definitely almost chaotic, like what's his name from It. So going on from Billy, then we have Max, and I think Max is a great addition to the new crew for the crew with Mike, Will, and everybody. I think she brings a lot to the table. She even says like she's the Zoomer of the group. Like, I really thought her and Lucas's relationship was really great, and her and Dustin's relationship was really great. I want to. What it does though, I think I need definitely more of her with everybody else, because you don't see her a lot with Mike and you don't see her a lot with Will throughout the season. So I really want to see her interact with these two other characters more, and maybe the upcoming next season. But I think she's a great addition to the whole little clique they have, and I think it was great. I think the actresses was great too, and you felt like she was a real human being, especially when she talked to Lucas. So I mean, another thing I have to say is Bob. Okay, Bob was awesome. Bob was so lovable, so gullible. Winona Ryder's new man, aka Rudy, aka Sam from The Lord of the Rings. Great casting choice. Great. I thought Bob was, Bob. Think about it, Bob think Bob. Like Bob was a fantastic little addition to. I mean, he's a character you see all the time. Once again, in a lot of different shows, movies, and stuff. But he was such he won me over, man. The guy won me over. The character won me over. The actor, of course, won me over. Like I was a fan of Bob. I'm just gotta say that. The one thing I was a huge fan of though was 11 in this season. I think 11 is definitely the strongest part in this season because we do get a little bit more of her past. But not only that, you see her, of course, she has to be in hiding. She hasn't seen Mike. You see her lonely. You see her vulnerable. You see her angry. But you see her being actual human being. And 11 is just, and she's able to do a lot, say a lot of more things than she used to do. She's able to do a lot more than she used to do. I mean, we're uncovering what she uncovers, and it's a great watch, and it's a great to see her find some familiar faces in her past, and I thought that was a great aspect of it. But I will say it did get a little bit too X-Men type-ish towards the middle of the season, but other than that, it was a fantastic watch to see 11, because 11 was, especially with her egos and stuff, but I think 11 was the strong part of this season too, especially her relationship with Hopper. Hopper was amazing this season. I think he plays the dad role quite well. I think his relationship with 11 is fantastic. I just was really brought to a big joy of a lot of the pairings they do for this season. A lot of the characters they pair with and the interaction they have. I think just like I said, Dustin and Steve have great chemistry. So does 11 and Hopper. I think those two have great chemistry, that father and daughter relationship. So absolutely loved it. Some of the deaths in here were fantastic. The effects wasn't too well. It still looks, you could still really tell it's fake. A lot of the decisions like from Dustin was idiotic. He does admit it towards the end of the season, I will say. You think one thing's going to go somewhere, but it actually ends up going the wrong way. There is some predictability, but then there's some absolutely no predictability. But there was some predictability in here. The Upside Down world is still kind of not as confusing, but it's really odd about the dimensions and 11's connection to it, these laboratories that we're at. So there's a lot of kind of messy kind of things going on, but it's still the narrative is still there, and you still get what's going on and what they have to do to accomplish their goal. I think some characters you think that are evil are absolutely a joy to see, and you can't judge a book by its cover. There's still characters in here that have morals, which I absolutely love, even though you think that they're villainous. So I think season 2 just really upped the ante with like all sequels, but they delivered. What is good, it still has that nostalgia. It's still using a lot of things that we know and a lot of things we've seen, but the difference is they're executing it so well. The execution is right on point, that you don't feel like this is something that you can't watch because you've seen it before. Even though you've seen it, you can watch it because it's being done a little bit differently, or it's just being executed beautifully. So absolutely, Stranger Things season 2 has nailed it. I think it's a great Halloween binge watch. I think everything you wanted from the first one is in this one, and everything that you want going forward, because they're going to make a season 3, that you just can't wait. So there's still more questions going into season 3, but yet there's more things that were introduced in season 2 that you're absolutely can't wait to see what happens in season 3. So Stranger Things season 2, absolutely a must watch. Absolutely loved this season. Was a joy. 9 episodes is all it needed. So I want to thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Like the video if you like it. Comment below. Love to hear you guys' thoughts. I'm Dan Daniel's son. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.